Welcome to Onivia Highlights. These are the best highlights of today's Demacia Cup matchup.
From 100 to 0, even with these three, if he can get his passive back up, that empowered W is such a nuisance to deal with. Still a few seconds away, but they're gonna start this dive off now.
All right, Hong tanks up the turret. Aggro ZDZ gets knocked up. The spears. There's that empowered you were talking about. Hong, wait a minute. He's got the minion Nico passive.
Oh, but the healing.
But ZDZ's still healing because he's autoing Tian under the tower. But eventually, Weibo Gaming pull off the dive with no deaths on their side. First blood.
Right now, Weibo doing everything in their power to deny this from happening. Another stacked wave. Xiaohu's here, and Tian's even on the way, but they're starting this dive off now.
I mean, he can grab the Seraphine ulti and have access to an Encore before Wink is even level 6 himself. And now Tian is going to roam on over. This is a 4-on-2. Encore hits onto both targets here. Wink is trying to body block so that ZDZ can survive, but he will fall. Xiaohu takes it, and Hong once again, power of the cannon minion, allows Nico to take up as many turret shots as he needs to. And this dive will take no prisoners from the side of Weibo Gaming unless Angel can find some salvation or redemption kill. But everyone else gets out alive because what can Victor do this early on? What is he going to do? Flash and Chaos Storm with practically no items under his belt? So this is a massive win for Weibo.
We come out of the replay. EDG are here on the grubs first. They don't quite have numbers for the time being, but the collapse is going to come in shortly.
They need to save an Angel. Hong gets nailed by the arrow despite flashing away. Xiaohao picks up that one. But Tian is going to take this moment to sneak over one of these grubs while the rest of EDG formed a death squad towards that top side. Xiaohu has returned to the river, takes the arrow for himself. But I don't think there's going to be an engage from Weibo Gaming. It's just going to try to use the arrow to disengage. But Tian's got nowhere to run, no time to flash, as Xiaohao pulls the trigger with that Cyclone, now looking for Xiaohu. And Weibo Gaming might have bit off more they could chew. Xiaohao dashes over the wall.
Could be seeing a play here, mid lane.
Nice. Glacial Prison on to assume. Xiaohao will try to deter the engage. Nice use of the Encore to lock up Light, but he takes out Xiaohao before they can get any damage back. Light is below 200 HP, and Hong might have gone a little too far forward. I'll assume using the power of those arrows in the slow, but Tian will now body block using his own body. Light goes in a little too far, but they take out 2 for the effort. And for EDG's bot lane,
2 early dragons to the scaling side of EDG. Weibo, despite all of the early skirmishing power that their champions can be afforded, just haven't been able to find the time to, or haven't made the time to pick up those dragons. But this TP is going to come down. There's 3 members here and ready to dive ZDZ.
He flashes away, tries to buy as much time as he can, but with 4 members diving you, I don't know how long you can last, but credit to EDG. They bought enough time for Angel to pick up first brick on the Wink, but if Weibo Gaming can continue to rely on Light jumping forward, as Xiaohu is going to send an arrow mid lane. Sails on wide.
They're really understanding what the win cons are for Weibo, and they're doing an excellent job of denying that away. And as they start up this dragon, this is where it could get dicey. This is the opportunity really for Weibo to try and pull the trigger and find a successful fight.
There's some good wards for TP flanks if Xiaohu wants to pull the trigger, and that's what exactly he is going to do. Not sure which ultimate he's going to grab, but if he's got the pick of the litter, Encore would be great from this angle, and Ash Arrow could single one target. Hong goes in, Pop Blossom on a 3. Here comes the fight. Xiaohu tries to flank, but EDG immediately turn on to the flanker, and Xiaohu is getting singled out by Xiaohao. He's forced to flash over the wall, but Weibo Gaming pushed through the other side of the fight, taking out the main frontliner ZDZ, and now it's a 5-on-4 advantage for the side of Weibo.
Yeah, I mean, Weibo, this was their opportunity, right? They've got this big gold lead space that Weibo needed, along with Xiaohu, for, again, Light to just open up, right? Takes down the frontliner. There's not really much CDZ can do. He's just being good at it in the middle of 3 members. But as we come out of the replay, Assume's dead.
And it doesn't stop. The momentum has started for Weibo Gaming, and now multiple...
So 2IM Callista on, the 20-minute mark. This Baron is, tankier than older iterations, but still very easy to take down. I just don't think there's anything that EDG can do about this. Assume can send out a Hawk Shot on an arrow. That's going to give them a little bit of information, but at 5k already, Rafa, this thing's gone.
Xiaohao would have to pull off a miracle, 2k HP. He can't get into the pit. Hong doing a great job of body blocking him and ensuring he does not get into the club. Weibo Gaming now should be able to have a clean reset on this Baron.
Let's see what they can actually get done down here on the bottom side. Because again, the scaling threat, the wave clear as well, is going to, again, regain its power as soon as this Baron is lost.
Arrow flies, it hits Tien. Xiaohao's gonna go in, tries to lock down the tank under the tower, force the flash away, but Xiaohao gets completely annihilated. But the amount of damage that Weibo Gaming were able to put out as Light rips 1,000 spears out of the Monkey King's back. And now EDG, without a jungler, don't have really any more engage tools as they use pretty much everything here, Jamada.
Yeah, they did, and it still seems like Weibo are gonna get the most out of all of this. Two tier 2s, mid and bot. There's a top wave being pinged as well, so we'll see what Breeve's going to end up doing here. As arrow lands onto ZDZ, teleport's coming in as well. Breeve is a very tanky Cassante.
Yeah, tanks it up and barely loses, I want to say, more than 1/5 of his HP. Still has about 3/4 to play with. Hong goes in, forces a couple of summoner spells out of the teammates of DDG. They lose the inhibitor tower, but now have all 5 members once again. But meanwhile, Xiaohu in the mid lane, pressuring for that middle exposed inhibitor. These are 2 open structures now that Weibo Gaming can look for, but they've used a fair share of their tools. They don't want to have to risk anything in a lot of the carries for Weibo Gaming versus EDG. Light having finished 3 items and the Terminus, that makes any marksman that buys it so deceptively hard to kill because you are getting so many resistance.
He's willing to pull the trigger, man. That's the thing about Hong, you know. His 2023 year in particular was one where he really opened the eyes of a lot of LPL watchers. And then this year he was a lot more restrained, a little bit more calculated, but still very aggressive. Speaking of aggression, Breeve's gone forward here. He could very easily be taken down, and I think that is going to be what happens. Though he's Cassanteing.
He's so damn taking, man. I mean, he finally goes all out and is just now dropping below 50% HP, and he still doesn't die. Meanwhile, Xiaohu is just wondering, hey guys, y'all doing good over there? And he's like, I'm taking this turret on the top side of the map. Breeve has done his job. His teleport is not coming up for quite some time, so he cannot rejoin if Weibo Gaming wanted to continue the siege, but Baron is spawning in the next 50 seconds.
To sit here in fog and be very, very threatening. And if you split up like this, EDG, one person getting caught out, you just lose the game.
Yeah, remember, EDG's composition is stronger when all grouped together. If they're ever split up, as Xiaohao was trying to look for the flank on the right side, and Weibo Gamer is just gonna pull the trigger. Hong! Pop Blossom! Flash over the wall! That's gonna set up the engage, and Xiaohu is completely isolating Assume from the rest of the fight, cannot assist with any of his fellow EDG comrades. The fight completely won and absolutely dominated by Weibo Gaming in a stellar Game 1 performance, and they'll be taking the first game of the series.
What an engage from Hong. 3-man Homer on the front line to really just put the nail in the coffin of EDG, and that will be game 1. Weibo, after the first 20 minutes, I was a little bit worried, but once they had that opportunity to pick up that Baron, it was all go, no breaks, and they will be moving into game number 2. Lee Sin for Tien. Why don't pick it at 4? It's going to be Nocturne. I still kind of feel the same way, but it is very exciting, and we'll see. Again, still a little bit behind on tempo, but really not the worst thing in the world, as unlike last game where Weibo, you know, in the early game, a lot of criticism around their dragon control at the very least, not really picking them up with that Kalista lane, still able to do it here despite
minutes and a half away from the second rotation of Grubs. No real action has sparked between these two teams outside of the bot lane skirmishes. Xiaohao will find Hong, but he should be able to dash away once he gets in range to Light to battle dance to safety, as whoa, Xiaohao really wanted that.
Yeah, it was just a little bit slow on that heartbreak pull of Xiaohu. Angel?
Is Angel in trouble? Xiaohu. One more, like you said at Jamada, first blood goes over to Xiaohu.
Yeah, I mean, clean pickup there for Xiaohu. Not sure how it transpired, but I'm sure the observers will highlight that for us shortly. We got the look at the bottom side there. Xiaohao was just barely short on that heartbreaker. But what that play and the resulting sequences then given us is this play onto Light. No flash, remember.
I'm not sure if the depth charge was ill-advised, because now Tian gets a free engage onto Asumu, who's forced to flash over the wall. Paranoia lights turned out, and Wink has got nowhere else to go. And Xiaohao, remember, he used the Heartbreaker earlier, so he would have to flash if things get dicier. Here comes the bullet time. It will push Weibo Gaming back, and that does preserve Xiaohao from having to use his flash. More favor towards Weibo Gaming, since key targets are down to flash in Assume and Angel. And with Weibo Gaming being the first ones into the river, EDG have to, you know, have a leap of faith in venturing into the darkness, as the Dragon is already secured by Tian, and Hong is just going to make sure that EDG cannot get in position to try and capitalize on a retreating Weibo Gaming, as they get everything they wanted and nothing really gained from the side of EDG. Weibo Gaming might favor a potential re-engage if they want to look for EDG, but just trying to push them away, as Xiaohu now pops the Spirit Rush. It's going to get the depth charge guaranteed. Bullet time rips through. That's one reset for Xiaohao as he takes the body of Hong. Will look for the grand entrance before looking for another Heartbreaker for it, as he wants to get onto Tian, but they pop the Paranoia, and he still had one more Spirit Rush charge out of Xiaohu, and they punish an overextended Xiaohao.
Tower for Herald will be what the exchange ends up being. And even though, you know, EDG can just drop this Herald up here and make it a 1-for-1 in towers, it's still a much larger investment of time and resources out of EDG compared to Xiao, who can now just take a base, spend all of that gold he just got from this tower, and then come up here and maybe look for a bit of a play himself. He's actually got a deep teleport ward by that top tier 1. If you take a look at them, but I don't even think Weibo are interested in looking for a counterplay that aggressive. They're just going to look for the mid-tier 1.
Yeah, if anything, they'll just stall the ability of EDG to rotate towards the mid lane, as Assume is the only person that can try and defend it, and he is not going to try his hand against Tian.
No threat of an immediate charm. But Weibo could actually find themselves collapsing. These shallow wards might end up working out for Weibo here, as it's just a game of cat and mouse at the minute, and a hook's gonna come in and the lights are off.
Yes, sir. Xiaohu has been cut off, though, by Xiaohao, but he's able to Spirit Rush back to the safety of his team. Tian going in, immediately repelled by Angel's Emperor's Divide. And that is a Weibo Gaming jungler that has been chunked out completely of the fight. Weibo Gaming would have to fight without Tian by their side if they wanted to compete for this dragon, but it's burning down so fast. That's a solid win for EDG.
It's a very solid win for EDG. No threat of a Cloud Soul in 5 minutes time, Rad. Honestly, in total gold. So once they get that gold spent, and they're back at 2-item parity, it feels good, but for the time being, they take a fight. EDG, on paper, should just be stronger.
And for EDG, Baron has spawned, and that's where they're keeping their eyes on. TM pulls the trigger, wants to look immediately for Xiaohao, forces him out of the fight, and that does isolate Wink for the taking. Weibo Gaming pick off the straggler from EDG's side. They guarantee the numbers advantage, and that's he's TPing. He's looking for the flank angle, and Weibo Gaming, once Breathe calls out that information, they have to immediately ditch the dragon. It resets, but Xiaohao catches it, so is able to catch a little bit of the leash that Weibo Gaming gave them over to them. This is going to be second dragon acquired. Once again, Weibo Gaming.
And give them potentially an easier time in these 5v5s, but again, Weibo execution has been fantastic. The side lane play so far this game has been stellar. And I mean, it's not like their little exchanges and skirmishes haven't been either. ZDZ rather, it's going to make use of these 5 grubs. Doesn't have a massive wave to work with, but it's still going to get a pretty sizable chunk out of this tower. As the next wave arrives, he might actually be able to finish it before Breathe is able to interrupt him, and I think that's going to be the case. Double dash out to safety, and even if he ends up losing this tier 2, it's fine. What you don't want to do is get caught by the chains of corruption over the wall.
Oh, and that's all it takes. Fog of War to the advantage of Weibo Gaming. They are really in a position to just trade objective for objective. They're rather concerned of letting this Baron go for free, as ZDZ tanks up a charm and a full combo from Xiaohu. The Baron is reset. They turn off the lights. Hong was waiting for that flank angle, and the rest of the front line overextend. Wink falls. Tian looks for Assume, but Assume stands tall behind Angel, and the bullet time starts ripping through the front line of Weibo Gaming, and now the resets are coming in. Xiaohao taking control of the mini Gnar. It's up to Xiaohu and the rest of Weibo Gaming to make sure that EDG can't find any more resets and prevent a potential Baron take. But with a jungler on their side and no smite contest from Weibo Gaming, that should be the 3rd dragon for EDG.
It's a messy fight from both sides, honestly. I think Weibo a little bit too scattered, but also EDG, CDZ caught a little bit. You know, you see a Nocturne, and especially in the context of this was an R5 Nocturne, right? This wasn't like you know, an early Nocturne and the composition was built around it. It was like the comp was locked in. And Tien said, yeah, Nocturne looks great here. So it has definitely been a little bit of a struggle on his end. Though, as we say that, speaking of struggles, EDG are struggling to lock down Breathe, and he is going to pick up that tower. He even still got the gold for damaging it. Despite that fact, EDG happily, and I'd say brazenly, start this Baron. Tien's in the area. Breathe is in the bottom side. He has TP, but like, why even pull it unless he's going to have Mega? And he will. Lights are off, Rafa. Let's go.
Paranoia from Tien. He goes into the pit. Who takes the Baron? It's Tien that steals it. And now, as long as they can stop the recall of EDG, Breathe can just finish the game by himself. Weibo Gaming don't have to overcommit. They just have to continue corralling EDG in this river, but they have the numbers advantage even without Breathe in that Baron fight at all. And that just seemed too damn easy for Weibo Gaming to pull the wool over EDG's own eyes. GG, well played. A clean 2-0 sweep for Weibo Gaming.
Welcome to Onivia Highlights. These are the best highlights of today's Demacia Cup matchup.
To overcome this EXP deficit.
Yeah, it will be. And this is kind of one of the
Oh no. Oh no, don't do it, brother. Okay, well, we're going to start off on the bot lane. Flandre trying to knock him into the wall, puts up that steadfast presence. Xiaosha tanking a lot. Ends up being Leon Sheng who got first blood. And Flandre dies on the bottom side.
From taking down the Grump. In fact, that might be the case if he didn't have the charge. There's Tarzan here waiting for Heru.
Just going to throw a rock at him, trade a little bit. I think the chains are going to win out on that fight just a little bit, you know. Metal beats rock, right? That's at least how I played rock, paper, scissors. Thanks to get tanky.
It does.
Wait a minute. Yeah. Liangshen could find himself in a little bit of trouble. Tarzan is ready to come through. Flandre is here too. Starting off with the buckler. There's the public execution, but can Liangshen actually get away? Tarzan will catch him, put him into the brush. And Liangshen is almost assuredly not going to be able to get away from this one, as Tarzan will be able to pick up the kill.
Yeah, doesn't burn the flash, right? I mean, we have a lot of Azir guys in the LPL, as I'm not sure there's really going to be a general fight here.
Well, here comes a teleport from the Poppy, so there might actually be a fight. As Cal with a good engage onto Baya. Baya, though, is fine for right now. The Impale lands onto one. Down goes Kael. Hope trying to
is the real Impale.
Front to back. Here's the real Impale. That gets a kill onto the Leona. Now a 4v3, but the question is, can they get more? The Chaos Storm close to slowing him up. Baya trying to get away, but he gets slammed into the wall. Couldn't flash away. And that is a couple of kills for anyone's legend. And now,
since this Skarner's come into meta, has certainly been one of the more consistent players on it whenever he has been put on that duty over on Weibo throughout summer. As speaking of, finds Monkey.
Interrupted. Yeah, this is another good engage coming out from anyone's legend. The teleports are a little bit late, but Shanks gets there first. Baya is forced out. Xiaozha trying to help him out. Other side of the fight. The public execution does not land, but finally getting the fight is Liangshen, but it's a 3v1 at this point in time. He's trying to get onto Hope, but Hope able to kite it out excellently, which means Shanks is able to pick up a triple kill.
It's just easy pickings here.
I love this. It doesn't line up this perfectly that often, you know, so we got to take the opportunities where we can. As Shanks is going to get a turret for himself. I mean, he is just kind of laser people down.
Yeah, he will. He's continuing to scale up here. Shanks is going to be scary eventually.
Here we go.
Be the main...
Oh my god. Liangshen took so much damage for absolutely nothing. Tarzan is here at the dragon, gets knocked up. Is getting actually roasted and taken down. Now Kael trying to do what he can to keep Hope alive. Another dodge out on the public execution as Hope is just raining arrows and raining death, allowing time for Shanks to make it into the fight. He finds two more. He wants a third, but this one will be given over to Flandre. And anyone's legend just wiping BLG.
Maybe BLG get to roll over that fight after finding their pick onto Tarzan, but it's frankly not enough. And anyone's legend AD carry makes a complete mountain out of a molehill. And they'll pick up this tower as Flandre picks up the final one.
Not much that Baya could do there. It was a valiant effort. You just got to go after Hope and do what you can. As I thought we're going to get another fight here. Tarzan off on the side. Trying to just take down Xiaojia as the first turret in the mid lane is going to fall. Now slammed into the wall. Tarzan with the Impale getting a priority target here as Baya will fall. Hope gets that kill, and Hope is safe and sound, baby.
Whoa.
And this Chaos Storm's getting real big. Liang Shen was a complete non-factor in the fight. Gets hit by the Enchanted Crystal Arrow up against the wall. Just can't go anywhere. It's 2 more for Shanks.
Yeah, this game is just about done and dusted. It's just about signing off the formalities now for AL. 10,000 gold almost. This tower will bring them ever so close up. But my, great pick after pick. And there's just not really much that BLG can do at this point when you're down so far, right? And it's a very, very, win more composition they've got going for them, even with the on-hit Varus as well, as teleports coming in from Heru. They're looking for something here, but I just don't think it's what they want to find.
You will find only death here, Jack Sparrow. Heru manages to find a way out for now. They get on top of Shanks, but Shanks is kiting it out so well. The lasers doing what they can. Tarzan gets hit by the public execution. Kyle is here to try to help out. Shanks half HP, trying to get from Liang Shen, who flashes on top of him, but the gravity well will keep him alive. Kyle will fall, but Flandre and Hope should be able to lead the charge here. Heru has the stolen ultimate, but he can't go in with Shanks as Xiaojia eventually falls, and now it's a 3v3. Hope flashing, getting the slow. Baya not up against the wall, but Flandre doesn't take any damage. The Chaos Storm is getting real big once again. It's just not enough for BLG. They fall again. Shanks continuing to do crazy things, as well as Hope on top of it.
Herald of the Arcane. You know what? Maybe this rework wasn't that bad after all. As Shanks absolutely 2 steps on salt in the wounds. We're going way back with this replay. All the way back to the play. Fight. Yeah, this is all exactly. It feels vintage given the pace of this game.
Can't believe that didn't hit Monkey, by the way.
I know. I'm very surprised. We can't even watch the replay because
Xiaojia is getting solo killed.
Monkey's dying.
I'm so sorry, Xiaojia.
Rest in peace, man.
Yeah, unfortunately, tank support problem
immediately, and this should just be the purple worm going over. No big contest from BLG, as you would imagine. And yeah, again, it's just going to be about getting the most out of this Baron and trying to get ourselves to a game number 2.
Once upon a time, he was 3-0-3, and we were like, hey, he's set to take over the game. Well, it is Victor's world. We are just living in it. She probably should do so.
You know what? So I had this conversation the other day. If you've not watched Arcane by now, it's your
What are you doing?
Great steadfast presence, and Xiaoxia is gone. Goodbye.
Yeah, if you're not watching Arcane right now, if you haven't watched it, you are Xiaojia right there. You're not doing the most. No offense to Xiaojia, because there's not much you can do at this point of the game, but you should really get it done. So Liang Shen will fall. That should put the bow on the game here for anyone's legend, as they're gonna knock down this inhibitor. Shanks is gonna get his back in. He's gonna teleport in, and that'll do it. BLG had a nice high point at the beginning of the game, getting that kill, getting 2 kills in the lane swap, and then it kind of all fell apart for them, Dramata.
Lane swap, good. Everything after the lane swap, not so good, as more kills rolled in. And
not entirely sure. I'm not going to stake my claim on it, but certainly the number is probably low.
I can't personally recall a game I've ever watched where there's just no elemental rift. We're going back to the old seasons as engage.
Yep, the Cyclone knockup is there, but that Impale is huge. Baya is low, and he's got to run away. But can you run from the storm? It's a triple kill for Tarzan. Monkey will get bonked right into the fountain. He should thank Flandre for saving the KDA there, as now anyone's legend will knock down the final Nexus turret, and subsequently the Nexus for a Game 1 victory.
Yeah, easy peasy. 24 minutes on the clock, and AO will knock down this Nexus. Not much for BLG to talk about there. We are going to be seeing the Smolder in a solo lane. It looks like we're going to be getting Nico top.
Ooh,
one
hit Nico top?
So that's where we're going to be. If Monkey had a little bit more HP, they could have just pushed in this wave and looked for a dive, or just threaten it just to, make sure that Hope and Kyle, maybe have to split the XP 3 ways as, it's just a...
Oh, nice play by Tarzan, burning his flash to get in front of it. It'll be first blood going over to Hope. Wow.
So does his job. Dream jungler moment, as we've actually got a lane swap going on here. Shanks caught out. don't think
I think
Shanks
he's
is in
fine
trouble,
though. Monkey is going after him, flashes, and Xiaozha
Ah.
is here all the way up top, but Shanks with
Whoa.
a nice sidestep, but he gets rooted from the passive anyway. But it will be Xiaozha who gets the kill.
Yeah, but now it's about the snowball effect. Who else could potentially find themselves in a little bit of danger because the wave was stacking, but of course the rotation in.
Xiaozha over the wall,
Xiaozha.
bites off a little bit more than he could chew. Monkey can't help him out. Flandre will be able to get the last auto attack off, and now all of a sudden, so you probably don't need the height. You could probably just go.
True, probable to
So-
be honest, but yeah,
Maybe one day.
maybe one day I can get away with the James Harden cosplay.
Monkey's heading
Jokes
up to the
jokes
top
aside,
over here. They're going for it. They're
Andre,
gonna just dive him. Just dive this guy. Let's go.
yeah,
Try to
kill
make a
him.
plan to Flandre. Mom coming through, but he
Everything's
doesn't really get a
missing.
heal. Forces a flash out of Flandre.
This
Hey,
is not a
listen,
good dive. I was
player.
studying it like the Bible.
Let me ask you, Jamada, who was the first pro player you watched that you really were enamored by? You probably said, well, listen, I want to play the game like that guy a little bit.
Dandy, 2014. It's old.
Let's
hello.
go on. Here comes the Nocturne. Tarzan able to get in there. Kyle doing what he can to get CC off, but no kills yet for AL as BLG
It's
managed to
split.
get one. Monkey doing what he can, drops his ultimate just to try to run away. The health bars are a little low on the side of BLG. Is there a secondary engage? It's going to come from Liang Shen. Make a Death Rocket lands. Here comes Shanks. He's only able to get one for Hope as he's starting to reset, and he gets the Monkey, but he's not able to get anything more, at least not yet. Does have a triple. Baye and Haru will retreat to the safe.
You do that, it feels like, this mid-game potential bridge to set up Desire for later games is just not going to be present. So if Jinx, or rather if Monkey's put behind, it's going to get a little bit rough. Lights are off.
Yeah, lights out. Xiaozha going to be the target, and everybody's on top of him. He's not going to be able to find a way out. It's going to be another kill for Hope. Will we get anything off the back of the reset? Shanks forcing the ultimate out of Baya, and look at the other side. Monkey just off on his own, trying to 1v1 Tarzan, but it wasn't a 1v1. So everybody else shows up. Tarzan getting that one too. And anyone's legend.
On the collapse, it makes it very easy to then pick off Monkey. And I think Tarzan even spell shielded the ultimate out, as speaking of spell shield.
Another nice spell shield out of him. Here comes the teleport coming in from Cassante here. It's BLG trying to get this Rift Herald, trying to do something. Flandre coming in from the top side. Yangshen doing what he can to just try to keep Tarzan away from smiting this. He gets pulled in, but here comes Shanks. Big knock up on his ultimate, and Hope has room to run. He's already excited. He's going to be able to actually get his first kill of the fight, and now the rest of them will fall like dominoes. Tarzan over the wall gets one for himself. He's going to even stay alive through that. It's a triple kill as Hope turns everyone
to try and put some work in, and some damage he does put out is good, but it's just the rest of BLG getting melted far too quickly in comparison, as first tower now also going to go over to Hope, an additional 600 gold, and Flandre, it goes from bad to worse, from worse to a nightmare for BLG. Also pick up this tower, as it's so many stacks.
Maybe if Shank's ultimate was a little bit worse there's a conversation to be had about Flandre's flank, but there was just nothing to be done there for BLG. Is trying to get away as Xiaozha. I think he might just get run down by Tarzan here, trying to make his way to the blast plant, but Tarzan puts himself on the right side of it. Xiaozha hooking the wall, and Monkey is just gonna look at him and say, "Hey buddy, I'm sorry." Teru also finds himself on the wrong side of the tracks. Tarzan, Cal, and Flandre are just gonna pincer this poor man. He's gonna drop his ultimate shirt between worlds. That just means Tarzan will be able to get the kill. It is another just rough showing here. And there's this guy who played for Team Curse. His name was Nijaki. And he played Vagar. I played Vagar from like level 1 to level 30. And I was like, oh, this guy plays my favorite champion. Like, this guy's cool. So he was really the first one that I was like, ooh, I kind of want to be like that guy. Right now, I want to be like Hope, though, as he's finding another kill. Heck, if you want to be like Shanks, too, despite the fact that 2 members dodged out on that, you can be like Shanks. Kyle going down is Baye living on a prayer on just a sliver. As the rest of BLG is able to actually find a way out, although Hope is just frontlining, trying desperately to get these auto attacks off.
Yeah, doing his best, but not quite enough, and you know why.
I don't.
I know you do. You do a little bit of critical thinking here.
Sure, but
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I mean,
Come on, man.
I have to send somebody down there. It looks like Haru will be the guy, as we haven't really talked too much about the mid laners outside of Shank's couple ultimates. They've got some really weird score lines for the kind of game that we have here. Shanks has been involved, but no kills. As
I think that's the perfect way to. Ooh.
Yes, exactly on the same wavelength here as Kyle. To land a double knock up. Here comes Hope. Monkey charmed on the backside. Shanks is here, ready for another close quarters knock up onto 2. Baye had to use his ultimate to run away as Xiaozhou once again falls again. The curse of playing tanks at support. No other champion other than Nautilus do you really feel it on.
Yeah, no, exactly. Nautilus is feeling the full frontal effect of this game. 1, 8, and 3. Half the kills that AL have gotten have been this guy.
Just and it's just what happens for those who.
It's
just how it goes. We've accepted the fact that the supports unfortunately get the short end of the stick like that. Doesn't have to do with him playing poorly or anything like that. As Tarzan finds himself dead to Liang Shun, and Shanks is gonna try to get the heck out of dodge. He does get stunned up here. Monkey still in hot pursuit. Kyle and Hope trying to come help their teammate. Looks like BLG will not pursue that any longer.
No, not for the time being. BLG, still hungry, right? And capitalizing on mistakes here from AL when appropriate, as a teleport's going to come down.
Okay.
It is technically a
You gotta do something.
dead. You have to, not only do you have to do something. Is it a window after this tower to hit Baron? You've got 2 IM ADC. Smolder's at 225 stacks though.
Yeah,
and
that's a problem.
That's
Walks into the jungle. Happens sometimes.
Yeah, it does. Hey, look, even minions got to explore their freedom every now and again.
There we go. Lights out. Teleport coming in. Tarzan going to wait a little bit and get all the way over onto the side, onto Monkey, who's on the back line. Meanwhile, see you later, Aurora. Just blown up in an instant. Hope is just ignoring the Cassante. Xiaozhou will fall next. Baye has nowhere else to go. He flashes and falls all the same. It's a double kill for Hope.
Cut before this game ends. He's got probably at most 2 more team fights to get some work done. We'll see what he can and can't farm. But yeah, BLG long out of it. And, it does make you wonder.
Good Nico authority. As, a couple of Korean players had mentioned that they didn't know about these certain Nico mechanics. So I do wonder if there's any mechanics on other champions that we haven't quite discovered yet. As League of Legends is a lot of champions, and not all of them get to share an equal amount of the spotlight, but you know who does? Jinx gets to share a large amount of the spotlight here. Chunking Haru really low, flashing forward, taking him out. Tarzan probably really sad because his ult got wasted.
Oh, man.
That means Xiaozhou is going to go down next. Super Mega Death Rocket, not quite killing him, but Flandre will pick up one for himself there. Haven't talked about him too much. He's got to get a couple on the board.
Yeah, should just be ending of the game here very soon. Waves are coming in. 5 members still left of Baron, and
all right,
doesn't feel hopeful at all.
All right, can BLG hold the line? That's the question. The first turret's going to fall. Monkey is just standing there, not so menacingly. The second turret's going to fall. I think Monkey has given up. He is just doing nothing. I think he was recalling for a hot second there. As the Yangsheng did what he could, he manages to get a kill on the backside in the 3v1. Looks nice and flashy, but ultimately, anyone's legend, a pretty